everybody, it's Safi and Marco, Dish Out on the Movies. Today we are doing the
Corella's Castle.
We are doing Hell's Kitchen.
Corella's Castle.
What are you doing? Episode 5, which is referred to as, quote, a state of confusion.
Corella's Castle.
And Marco said he wanted to do, we watched that
I'm putting you
movie.
in a state of confusion, Safi.
Okay.
That's the point. Because
I'm
the
really
episode
tired at this time of the night.
episode,
I wish Marco would stop.
The episode is called A State of Confusion.
Okay, well, anyway, there's probably about at least three names that come out for this whole episode that are in a negative territory.
None of them on the Epstein list.
No. Too young. Unless they were abused. But anyway, this isn't funny. But anyway, I'm really tired. I wish you would not do this.
No, I'll begin because I'm not tired at all.
That's good.
I usually get a lot better at night, because I'm like a vampire. So, that's when I get a lot better.
Well, I'm sure Marco will agree with me about these names. So.
And I get better in the morning, too. So I'm like a double trouble. I'm like a double shot of Marco. And so anyways, the episode started off, remember, Chef Gordon had to pull Bradley aside. Like it's school and you're taking the little boy to the principal's office. And, it turned out that Chef Gordon wanted to give him a pep talk and say, like, look, I believe in you. Even though you like to throw your teammates under the bus when anything for you goes wrong, I believe in you. I think you can do a good job. You just have to, do things. And Bradley said that he would do those things. And obviously, that did not go according to plan, at least for both of them.
That it would be okay. I really thought that. Well, I thought Chef Gordon's little talk might do something, because sometimes that has worked in the past.
Yeah.
But it didn't, because Bradley's name came up often during the entire show as doing something stupid. Or not doing something at all.
Yeah.
Or not doing something right.
Yeah.
And it's not that he was evil and purposely trying to do something bad.
It is pretty evil to blame your teammates when you do something wrong.
That's the bad thing.
Which is very, that's a common, thing that, particularly, the worst kinds of people in any kind of business, is that they blame other people when they do something wrong. Because it's almost like, well, everything, all those other people are bad, so, the little thing that I did, that doesn't really matter. And so it's
he
just
wasn't doing just little things, though.
But that's the point, is that, he, it seems like he just wasn't, he wasn't right for this. This was not a good fit, and it was too much for him. He would be better off going on MasterChef. Even then, I don't think that Joe would have put up with him. I think that Joe would have said, oh yeah, you want to blame other people for your mistakes? Bye-bye! That's what Joe would have said.
Well, I'm trying to think, when they did the one-on-one, they had another contest beginning.
A challenge, you mean?
Yeah. And
the whole show was a contest.
Did he do how did he do when he made his dish? Didn't he?
I can't remember.
A point. I think he got a point. So he did okay.
I was so distracted because for those of you who watched the episode after the fact, everyone watching it live, we had to watch a glitched version of the episode where the sound was off and it was going. It was really, really annoying, and it was like that for over half the episode, and then all of a sudden there were technical difficulties, and then they fixed it. So I didn't really pay attention to the food stuff in the first half, except for I wanted to see if Alexandria would get it, because
she did.
That was another conflict in this episode, was her and then the mean girls. And it was funny, too, because at the beginning, Alexandria called the worst one, the leader of the mean girls, Anaya, she called her the Charles Manson of chefs. And I thought that was hilarious. That was so, like, over the top.
What she means by that. I don't see the comparison. She's a lot younger than her. She's a Gen Z, and Alexandra, like we have said, all of the episodes up until now, she should be an actress, and because she'd be great in a Hitler movie. And I hate to say that.
No, I think she would be good in Matilda as Trunchbull.
Oh yeah. Well, but anyway,
she wouldn't even need any makeup.
Evil, kind of like an evil character, and because she seems like she'd be really great for TV. Like, that's probably why she was picked. She'd be great for TV, or like
another good role
an episode of some I don't know.
Another good role would be if they remade Leave It to Beaver. She would be really good as Larry Mondello's mother.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, that's enough about that. But I thought that whole comment was hilarious.
I just ignored it because I thought it was idiotic. The girl's probably
Charles Manson,
10 years younger than
Charles
her.
Manson is just I don't want to use the word scapegoat, but he kind of was. But like he's just kind of like, I guess, a crazy person archetype. Like, whenever you want to say like someone is crazy, you just say, "Oh, that guy's like Charles Manson," and then suddenly everyone's like, "Oh no," and it's like, well, what about all those other people? So, anyways, we're not on that either. But I thought that was funny. But the challenge again, I had trouble focusing because of the sound. It was really, really distracting.
Well, the thing is, they brought in a choir.
And it was very fast, too.
Yes, it was. And mostly everybody did well. In fact, the only person who did obviously bad was not because he cooked bad.
Cara Marie.
Because he brought, when they have a certain amount of time to do this food. They had to make a main, like a meat, and then they had to make something to go with it. And they had 2 boards. They were all covered up and just had a number. And so there was a choir, and when the people came in to start the show, they sang, "Oh, my country 'tis of thee," or "America the Beautiful," or something. And then they did start doing this thing. You have one from the women's, one from the men's, and the women's would go, "Okay, well, I'll take number 3," and the men would go, "I'll take number 4." And so 3 was on the meat board, so she got that. She was going to cook that, and I guess she would make the side too, make her own of what the other person got. So they would both make these 2 things, but they had chosen them. So anyway, they go all the way down the line, and so they have a certain amount of time. I don't know what it is, 30 minutes. I don't think they have a whole hour. And so they race, they're racing, and they race to get their plates of food to the table where they have to put it down, and then Chef Ramsay calls on them. Well, the last person, I think it's Jaden.
Jaden.
It was Jaden. Okay. He slammed the plate down. Well, it broke into multiple pieces. And, of course, you've got glass shards probably getting into the food. So he gets an automatic 0, which he was very upset about. So he's the only one.
Yeah, he was really upset, and it was really hilarious because then the boys lost. And I'll get to that part.
Just
but
by 1 point,
it was really funny because Chef Gordon said... he said, "I hope you guys don't return for..." Or no. He said that to the girls who won. He said, I hope you don't return from your prize looking like Jaden's dish." And Jaden was so upset. He was so upset. It was so funny. He was just like... It was almost like he wanted to cry. Like, it was so bad.
Well, it's a shame because it's not a judgment based on what he cooked. It's just that broken dish, and it is a shame.
Well, he said it looked undercooked too. He picked up
that's right.
Chef Gordon. Chef Gordon he has gotten a lot more savage this season, and so he picked up his lamb that was on the floor, and he said that looked undercooked anyways. Oh God, and he threw that away. Like, God, that is hardcore. But anyways, what ended up happening was, first off, Cara Marie. Doesn't that sound like the narrator, Safi?
Yeah.
See, I'm really good at doing impressions. I can do an impression of anyone. And so Cara Marie, I don't want to do an impression of her, but we have been observing Cara Marie.
She's the vegetarian.
The vegan.
Yeah, vegan. We have to make that distinction because a vegetarian...
She can't even eat eggs.
Yeah, that's right. A vegan is really... everything is taboo. So,
Cara Marie, she managed to cook the lobster really well. And you could just see in her face, she had a little smile. She thought she was going to get an accommodation of sorts. But then she decided to do the dumbest thing in the universe and make a risotto. So that means she decided to get effed up. And what do you know? The risotto was undercooked. Chef Gordon said so. He said the rice is white. He said, what the hell? And then Cara Marie, you could just see the smile. It turned upside down. It turned into a frown. She walked away. She was so disappointed. But she said in an interview, this was so funny. This bizarre behavior. She says in an interview, I've been working really hard. And it's like, oh, everyone here has been working very hard. That's why it's a competition. Right, Safi?
Yeah.
So that was funny. She lost.
But here it is. We're into the 5th episode. She has not won a challenge. She has not won a challenge yet.
That's pretty funny.
That's bad.
And, then Alexandria, which, by the way, Cara Marie was leading at the beginning of the episode. She was leading the criticism against Alexandria, saying, you are not good. You are not a part of the team. That's what Cara sounds like. And she's like hitting her hand. And so, Alexandria came up and she won the point. And the guy won the point. They both won points. But the fact that, she won that, and that put their team ahead. If she hadn't have got that point, they would have tied and might have lost. So, and it seemed like even after all that, the team did not really care. They did not really care.
No. But she still screwed up during the episode.
Yeah, she did.
Big time, twice. Yeah. And she even said at the end...
She would have gone home.
She thought... She said this.
Yeah.
I thought that was my worst service. I'm really lucky to still be here. Something like that. But she acknowledged that she had... One thing, remember that it was way back, I think, in the first episode where they did this flatbread pizza or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like for an appetizer.
She messed it up too.
She burned it. I think twice.
Yeah.
But she at least did it once. And it was black on the bottom. It wasn't even, it didn't look edible. Really?
She also messed up the polenta twice. And I just think that, and I'm not trying to make excuses for her because it's not like I'm a huge fan of her. But I will say, I think that the team is like a high school clique. But at the same time, I felt like she might have just been intimidated. And she was trying too hard. And it was I don't know. But you could feel that something was off.
Okay, and she made risotto.
No, she didn't.
Yes, she did.
She made placenta.
That's polenta.
Polenta.
No, she also she put too much garlic in the risotto.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So they had to take it back.
Yeah.
She cooked it. That was fine. But there was too much garlic in it. My God.
She fixed
Chef Ramsay said there was too much garlic. I can't even imagine. imagine how it tasted.
She fixed all those issues, but still, Safi, I don't think you heard what I was saying. I think that she was intimidated. I think that it was like a thing of like, oh, well, you know, like, everyone hates me, so I'm probably going to screw up. I don't know, though. I don't know. But, you know, I will say that, like, she would have definitely gone home if the women's team lost. And so I kind of like that, too, because it kind of made things more interesting. And then at the end, too, it was like, oh, well, I guess she's not going home. You know, like, because it would have just immediately been her going home. Regardless, because her team is so against her. She's already been up for elimination twice, which the last time she was up for literally no reason. But regardless, I think she would have immediately gotten sent home. And so anyways, do we even want to talk about the reward and the punishments? I don't think we do.
Well, the reward was these girls got to go and ride ATVs.
That was definitely something for the men. Originally, like, that was definitely an award, a reward. Safi's coughing is distracting me. A reward that would I think the men would like more.
Yeah.
You know. So
one girl didn't even know what that was.
And then Alexandria hit one of the teammates on accident with her ATV.
She did. She ran into her.
Like it was GTA. And it's like, no, this is not GTA, Alexandria. This is Cutthroat Kitchen. I mean, Hell's Kitchen.
The only other person was John, who is
Who's
kind
John?
of a little... He's the dark-haired guy that wears an earring in his ear.
Who's that? Safi, that's Anthony.
Oh, Anthony, I'm sorry.
Oh, God.
I thought I had J-O-M. I just...
Oh, God.
I can't see in here, and I turned the light off on my phone.
Okay, well, maybe it's better that you wait until you speak.
He has jet black hair, and he wears at least one earring. And at first, I mean, he's kind of like... He's so full of himself that he wasn't paying attention. He kind of screwed up. But that was it as far as screwing up. I don't think he did anything else bad.
He's like, I mean, I think that he's a lot like, you know, those guys who look so gay that they're probably straight. You know, like, you know, back in grade school, even in grade school, there would be these guys, these very specific guys. And for some reason in grade school, they got an earring. They got an earring in one ear. And it's like, that's fucking gay. That's fucking gay, Anthony. And so, you know, he's very, very, like, opinionated, and he's very much to himself.
He's very full of himself.
I don't like that. I think that when you're working on a team, it's a big problem when you have people like him. You know, it's one thing, like, if he was the leader or something, but, you know, he's not. They're all on equal level. And he's become unlikable now as well. Even though last episode we said that that one, I don't know, I can't remember, but
well, and he did something real bad.
Yeah. In
terms of Chef Ramsay, he at the end, everybody in the you know, who'd been in the eating dinner, you know, I'm trying to say out in the audience, but that's not true. They're out in the area where people get their food served. Everybody clapped for both teams. And Anthony put his arm in the air and go, like with his fist in the air, go, yeah, you know. And oh boy, Chef Ramsay did not like that at all.
Yeah.
And he almost kicked him out.
He threw a fit.
He had a supersized fit.
That was funny.
And
it's like, once again, you're not allowed to celebrate in Hell's Kitchen.
We have to keep it quiet. Just go back to the room and celebrate or something. Don't let Chef Ramsay see you. No, he did not like that. Because he did not think, because of the mistakes they made with Bradley at the helm, making these mistakes, they did not have an A+ service. They didn't win it. The service, the women did. And they also, remember, the women won the challenge, too. and went and did the ATV. So for the whole thing, the women came out ahead on both things.
Yeah, now I'd like to talk real quickly. There was another very funny moment with Cara Marie. There was a very, very peculiar moment where for some reason, normally, I'm able to cook fish. In fact, tomorrow I was supposed to cook salmon, but there wasn't any salmon and croaker, which is, that's a problem.
I'll look again in the morning.
Because we don't know what we're going to do. And so, but I can cook the salmon. I can cook the fish. I can do that. But for some reason on Hell's Kitchen, Cara Marie, she can't do that. She needs 3 other people to help cook a halibut. And so she sent up a halibut for Chef Gordon. And Chef Gordon said, "Oh, no!" And it turned out that the halibut was overcooked. And it turned out that Cara Marie and 3 other women were cooking one fish together. That she couldn't do it alone. And so Chef Gordon's like, "Look, you got to do this on your own." And so then she did. And she fixed it. But still, it was just a very peculiar... It's like... You can take the fish and you can put it in the pan by yourself. You don't need all these other women to come over and help you because you're a poor widow vegan. Right, Safi?
You shouldn't be there anyway. You're not going to be there.
No, she has to be there because she's being studied. She's being studied for scientific purposes.
Oh, Marco. I don't know. I don't really think they have too many standouts. And
no.
The ones who are stand out, it's very minimal.
But she's like an enigma. She's like an enigma because it's like, look, this is what vegans are like. In fact, I would like to expand upon that point because after last week, I thought it would be really funny to torture Safi, and I thought it would be funny to cook watermelon tuna and force Safi to try it. Oh, and so I looked up a video on YouTube of this very talented chef who was also Asian, so he likes to cook he likes to make sushi and such. And so he talked about this watermelon tuna. He made the watermelon tuna next to real tuna, and you could clearly tell which one was which. Mm. Well, apparently, the place where that recipe came from is TikTok. Oh. And that explains it. TikTok. That is the most embarrassing thing on the face of the earth. You serve Chef Gordon a recipe from TikTok. That is just... God. That is amateur at a whole new level. And, you see stuff like that all the time. I saw a TikTok that was posted on Instagram that almost made me want to take my phone, put it in the toilet, flush it down, and then forget about it. I saw a TikTok, and it showed, a couple of movies where, movie villains have, a glass of milk on the table, and so they're drinking a glass of milk. And the TikToker was saying, see, what you didn't know was that the reason why they put milk in movies is because villains drink milk. Because if you drink milk, you're a psychopath. And they weren't saying it in a funny way. They were saying it unironically. That is the type of mental retardation that you get on TikTok.
I don't know.
And so,
I don't ever use TikTok.
Cara Marie, she will be continued to be studied.
Okay, well, I don't think she has long for this world. I don't know. I think Alexandra, or whatever her name is, will go home before she does. We'll see. But I'm thinking in terms of long-term strategy.
Oh, I know.
And
I know who's going to win.
See a
I know who's going to win.
In charge of the kitchen at that resort. I just don't see it. I don't see how it could ever work.
That's like hiring an alcoholic to be a
A bartender?
to be the to be the president of a high school.
The president of a high school? I mean, the principal? I don't know, but
well, it's just like you don't hire.
I'm looking
you don't hire
ahead.
an alcoholic.
I'm looking ahead, and I don't see it.
Well, I know who's going to win. I know exactly who's going to win. That girl from California with curly hair.
She's going to have trouble next week.
She's the obvious person who's going to win. She's the mediocre standout who flies under the radar, but she's consistently good. And she's really mediocre and boring. And then at the end, she wins. And it's like, oh, yay. Not.
I don't see any of
Guaranteed.
the men.
No, all the men suck. They just
see any
suck.
of them winning.
No.
And there's one guy there. I think it's that guy from Georgia that made the waffles and chicken.
Oh, yeah, he's pretty good.
I don't like him. I just don't like him at all. I think he's substandard. I don't know what else to say. He does try to stay on task. And I don't think he's made any real big mistakes.
Safi, you have a bias.
I don't like him.
You have a bias.
I just don't like him.
Safi has railed against Jason Alexander. She cannot stand Jason Alexander. And so I'm starting to see a correlation here. I'm starting to see a common denominator between these two people that Safi is now. And now Safi's putting her head down.
I'm tired. I want to go to bed.
Because she won't take accountability for this bias, for this prejudice against the big man.
I don't care. You have to look at the big picture. you have to look on down the road. And this is a resort, and this is kind of like a wealthy state. They have a lot of rich people around there. And this is like a rich people resort.
Yeah.
Where people with a lot of money go there. And don't they have a golf course there or something? I mean, they have they have all this stuff.
They have a bowling alley.
And I just don't see it. And Chef Gordon, and they've got a negative thing right now with Las Vegas. They've lost a lot of tourists. And in fact, things have gotten really expensive. There's all kinds of YouTube videos. Just look it up. And he's had a lot of restaurants at Las Vegas. But now, last 2 years, it's been here in Connecticut.
Why? See, the problem with Las Vegas is, why would you want to go to Las Vegas and lose all your money in a casino when you could just go to the grocery store and buy groceries?
And lose your money. Yeah, especially right now. Oh, boy. That's a whole nother thing. I've been doing tariff checks, and I've been keeping track with the receipts about the price of goods. And I did July, August, September, and October. And I mean, even without writing it all down, you can see it as soon as you get the bill. I told Marco that our bill would go over $100 today. And easily, we did buy a couple of extra things.
I didn't really care.
Well, I do.
Because usually when I go to the store, I have terrible allergies, and so
we've both have terrible. We've had allergy problems this month. It's really been not good.
Yeah.
And miserable. I've coughed and coughed and coughed, and Marco's just been miserable and had terrible headaches. And my nose has been running off the wazoo, and it's just been kind of a miserable day.
Usually it gets worse in the store because the store, they never clean the vents. And that's the funny thing. I've always been like, why is it I go in the store? Is it some kind of anxiety thing? But then no, you look up at the vents when you go to the store. When you go to Dollar General, CVS, Kroger, Meijer, Walgreens, if you look at all the vents, you'll understand why you have terrible allergies if you're allergic to dust and stuff like that. So, yeah.
And they did a big renovation in the store. They do this every 5 years or something. They move things around, and they build new shelves and they take out other shelves. And
so
and they've kicked up a lot of dirt.
I was more happy about that. I was more focused on that.
Yeah, but we were sicker. I would get chest pains and I would cough and my nose would be running, and when we go in there, I just almost didn't want to go to the store.
Safi doesn't have an excuse though, because she refuses to take any allergy medication. So, that's her problem. But anyways, we were talking about who would win. Well, I don't know
who's gonna win.
Mediocre curly hair woman.
Marco may be right, because she is really good. She was a chef, and she back in California, and she had a baby, so she took maternity leave, and she stayed there because she wanted to be with her baby.
Maybe Cara Marie will win.
I don't believe it.
That would be really funny.
No, I don't see how he's going to hire a vegan, and if I were her, I wouldn't have entered the contest, because I think she's fooling herself.
I think
she'd have to have so much help.
I think what Chef Gordon should do is he should say, "Okay, today is opposite day. Cara Marie, you are going to win." Because that's the only way she would win, is for it to be opposite day.
Yeah.
So anyways, at the end of so with the men's team, they all sucked, pretty much. But Bradley was the worst one. At a certain point, everyone was trying to help him, and then they were getting kind of handsy and kind of handling his food. I don't know what they were doing.
One of the guys who worked with him the most, he's from Texas. He has kind of reddish hair.
Yeah.
I think he's okay. He seems very professional.
Yeah.
He said, I just got to help him. I'm supposed to be doing these other things, but he's flustered. And he said that more than once. And you could tell he was right. Bradley was flustered. It was like, it was kind of like me. I don't want to do this, so I'm not going to apologize for. I'd be standing there, and Gordon rattles off about 10 things that they have to cook, and you have to remember everything. You can't write anything down.
Yeah.
You have to remember it and be right on your toes. And if you get it wrong, he yells at you. And so Bradley can't handle the pressure.
No.
He could not handle it. And so he would get flustered. And I think he's probably a really good chef, actually, because he's made a lot of good stuff.
Maybe.
But that's at his own pace.
Yeah.
It's not in a high-stress kitchen where he's going to have to tell other people what to do. And when he pulled him aside at the beginning of the episode, and he said, I think you can do well. You just have to, pay attention and really work hard. You can do it. I think he was trying to see how well he could work with other people, like telling them what to do, and but there's something missing there. He just can't handle the extra stress to bring it over the finish line, and you could see that. And when there's too much, he likes to be slower about things and process it, and you don't have time. You have to be a quick thinker and quick doer, and you have to keep going and boom, boom, boom. You can't stop there and go, well, okay, I have to make what now? Oh, and he had he was in charge of the garnish station. And a garnish for them is more than just little pieces of lettuce and fruits or vegetables cut up or something. They have to, he had to make polenta. He had to make risotto. And something else, and then all the vegetable stuff, like I said, and he said, okay, one of the other guys says, okay, I have salmon, blah, 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 up here, and I need the garnishes, and he said, what do you need the garnishes for? And that's what I'm saying. It was like he got mad that he didn't know exactly what everything was going to be for, and if he needed to have all of them done. And that's stupid. He just wasn't right. And it was good he went home, because in my notes, and I don't have a lot of them, almost all of them were about Bradley and his fuck-ups.
God, Safi.
It's just ridiculous.
Wow.
Bradley and then Alexandra, who burned the flatbread. And put too much garlic in the risotto. And then that thing with Anthony, who, when everybody cheered, he put his arm up with a big fist or something like he's special and oof. And that's when Chef Ramsay got pissed off. Boy, worse than at any of the mistakes that anybody made during the night. He got more pissed off about that than anything. So he doesn't like grandstanding and bragging at all. So anyway, what'd you give the episode?
Even though Chef Gordon, guys, he has been posting the worst looking meals on his social media. He posts these pictures of, and there's like a plate, and there's like a little tiny thing in the center of the plate.
Is that that thing you sent me?
Well, he posted other ones too. He's like, "This is my fish with the special sauce and the extra leaf on top, and then the extra sauce is on the top of the leaves." That's what he's like. That's what he does. And so it's like, look, Chef Gordon, he likes to brag too. And when he brags, it's like, okay, what are we doing here? Even the meals in American Psycho looked more appetizing than this.
They're like a half a cup's worth of food.
Bradley went home. He was practically begging to go home. Like, as soon as Chef Gordon said Bradley, he took off his jacket. He's like, "Yes, Chef, please, okay, I understand, I'm going home. Just take my jacket, take my jacket." Like, he was so, like, ready to go home. Like, you could tell.
Service,
yeah.
Marco pointed this out, that he's always blaming everybody else.
Yeah, and he did that again this week. Again.
That's another thing. I have that in my notes.
He said that the whole problem with the service was because at one point the guy touched his pan and took it off the burner for 1 second. That apparently that was the biggest problem. And even after he got sent home, walking down the hallway, he said he still doesn't think he was the biggest problem of the team tonight. And you see right there, big red flag.
Yeah. So there's no way he could make it.
Yeah.
That's why I say you look at these things long term. You don't just look at the episode and talk about what happens in the episode. You look at it on down the line until the end. And you can see who's not going to make it. And it just kind of irritates me because you think, am I wrong? I don't think so. And it's almost like a waste of your time because it's almost like they're playing a game. It's a reality show game. And he might know who he wants. He might have known who he wanted to be the chef all the way back to the first episode.
No, I don't think so.
I don't know. I really don't know.
You said that last week,
yeah,
too.
I know, but I just there's not many standouts. In fact, there's really none.
Well,
except for maybe that California girl, but
she's not really a standout.
She doesn't stand out. That's right.
The thing is that I've watched Hell's Kitchen for quite a while, and when you watch it, you see usually the person who wins is boring. They fly under the radar. They're consistently okay. They get better towards the end because then at that point they're more focused on. So I give this episode a B plus, a B for Bradley.
Yeah, I'll give it a B for Bradley too, just a B.
Yeah.
It was. They seemed to be a little bit more on point, and he wasn't as eager to toss him out. Like those, wasn't it 2 episodes where he tossed both the women and men teams out?
Yeah.
And I don't think there's going to be any more of that. But I could be wrong. Marco would know.
That's not guaranteed.
That's not guaranteed. But they just seemed a little bit more professional, except for the cases I mentioned. So that's it. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it, comment, tell us what you think about it. What do you think about, who do you think is going to win? Do you care? And do you like the things that they cook? Would you want any of those? I think I might like to try that, what is it called, with the pastry around the meat? Beef Wellington.
Yeah.
I might like to try that, but I mean, I'd have to be really hungry and probably be in the middle of winter, because it seems to be kind of a real heavy meal. And I just forget about the risotto. I don't know. I just remember Marco cooking it. It was a pain in the ass.
But I made perfect risotto first time, first try. He did. So.
But he had to nurse it.
Suck on that, Cara Marie.
And watch it every second.
But I did it. and I did an A+ job.
Make sure to look for Marco's Patreon. We just sent a copyright application in for one of the things. I don't know what you want to call, because I don't even know, that he's made. And
that's such a good advertisement, Safi.
And we'll see, because the government shut down, how that affects his copyright application. So, that's it, everybody. So, goodbye.
Bye.